Welcome to
Welcome
the
back.
show me what I've been missing. Yes. We fucked that whole intro. Yeah, we rehearsed that.
Woo. Anywho, welcome to Show Me What I've Been Missing, your pop culture-y podcast that makes you go, hey, look at that thing. We took our holidays extended break / my birthday month. I'm not a birthday month celebrator, but I also was just tired.
Yeah, listen, first of all, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Yes. I feel that, you know what I mean? Like, honestly, I think that month was kind of a good thing because, for the holidays, I did do a lot of traveling and I was also working while doing the traveling.
Yep.
So, when I got back in January, I was tired. I was like, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to entertain anybody. I don't want to be like funny. I just want to just chill for like at least a couple weeks. But that, a couple weeks turned into a whole month, and I'm not mad about it.
Yeah.
Not even a little bit.
There's no shame in resting. You cannot always be grinding. I don't care what they say.
No, right. No, because like that's literally, it makes you worse at your job. Like, there's certain places that only do, I think it's like Stockholm or something like that. They do 4-day work weeks.
Yeah.
And their production increased by like 35%. I was like,
They've done like multiple studies that say like a 4-day, 10-hour work day.
Yeah.
So you're still doing 40 hours,
right,
but you do it in a shorter period of time on like a longer day.
Yeah.
Better productivity. And then you get the 3-day weekend and it's all good.
Dude, 3-day weekend, I'm telling you, there'd be a lot more happy people in this country for sure.
Yeah. But the grind never stops in America, baby. We were founded on repressed Puritans.
Woo! Work till you die, motherfuckers.
Work till you die, otherwise it's a sin.
Yeah.
But that's not actually even remotely what we're covering on the show. We are actually covering the show Sex and the City from the beginning.
Yes. For those who've been there from the start, you already know what it is. For those just joining us.
Yeah. For those just joining us, that was a bit of a confusing couple-minute intro, but it is pop culture, we swear. So we are covering Sex and the City from the beginning. Chris has never seen any episode of the show. I have multiple times over. Chris has also not been watching the revival, I don't think.
No. I've abstained.
Good choice.
My lady's watching it right now, but every time she watches, I just either go leave the room or I just like zone out and get on my phone or watch something else on my laptop or something. I'm trying to avoid it because I know it all adds up. I know I gotta watch the movies too, so
we got a ways to go. We are still in season 3. We're in season 3, episode 13. Escape from New York.
Yes, Escape from
They're in Los Angeles, our turf now, motherfuckers.
I know. I was like, you know what's so funny about that is because now being someone that has visited both New York and living in LA, it's so funny because we do the same thing. Like LA people will shit on New York people will shit on LA, but when they want to get away, for some reason, if they don't go to Florida, they always go to LA.
Yeah.
And I wonder why. It's because we have the best weather. Probably. It's probably that. We have the best weather, best scenery.
Mm-hmm. No, my best friend from Michigan was like, she visited for my birthday, which is in January, and she was like, while we're doing stuff, can we just like go into nature for a bit and hang out? She just wants some sunshine and like some greenery again, because it's, like a barren snowy wasteland.
Also, our city doesn't smell like constant garbage like New York does. Sorry, New York is. Y'all smell like it smells like piss and garbage all the time, even in the nice parts.
The smell of the city, you fool.
The smell of the city.
It's this one's fun, and without giving anything away about the revival, having watched all the episodes thus far of the revival, this will come out after the season finale of the revival. But regardless, watching this with Samantha, breath of fresh air.
Yeah,
it puts into sharp relief how much Samantha is missed in the new episodes.
Yeah, okay. I'm ready to see that because I'm so pissed when you told me that she wasn't in this series, but I was like, But she is she's on How
I Met Your Father.
Yeah. I'm kind of cool with that. Like, oh, I could, that's actually a good reversal role for her to be like a mom and like this like heartwarming person and shit like that, not like this character. So it's cool, man. I respect it.
Yeah, Kim Cattrall's legit. We don't give her don't put enough respect on her.
Yeah, man, she's an actress, and y'all missed out.
Yeah.
And just like that, you fucked up your whole
just comeback. Like that.
Just like that. Fucked it all up.
But it's funny because it also feels like she saw some of the writing on the wall, so to speak, of like, this is not going to be very well received because it's without diving again too much into the revival, there's a lot of strange choices that don't make a ton of sense.
Yeah.
Based on where we left our heroes last, our
heroes.
Our heroes.
from I mean, I've heard a few things. I don't know, like I haven't heard any like plot points or anything like that. But I was in a doctor's office and I heard an article, and I know that I think it's Charlotte. She has a daughter that's trans.
Or non-binary.
So I know they're trying to update it, but it's like nothing wrong with the update, but it's like y'all waited. I feel like y'all waited too long.
No, they're doing it in the clumsiest ways possible.
Right.
Actually, the Charlotte's plotline with their kid and their kind of decision to express themselves as non-binary actually kind of being handled pretty well.
Okay.
Really driving people nuts is the Sarah Ramirez character, Che Diaz, who runs the podcast that Carrie is on and is supposedly a stand-up comedian, and they constantly call their show a comedy concert. Che is non-binary and has this connection with Miranda and stuff like that, but everything they do about Che and the way Che is written is almost like a weird, like a right-wing parody, because they're so like over the top about. I feel bad saying that they're over the top about being non-binary and stuff like that's not something bad, but I'm not alone. Like there's tons of articles.
No. You're not saying it because like this is, first of all, you're talking about a fictional character, so if anybody gets pissed, chill.
Yeah,
right,
and Sarah Ramirez is non-binary as well in real life.
Sure, but this you're not talking about her. This is she's not making these decisions. This is a television show that writers have wrote down words in the story for her to follow. That's
because the inclusion of Che and stuff like that, and it feels like such a it's okay. We heard your complaints about the original run of the series, and now we're like gonna include everybody we've ever left out, but we're not gonna. We're gonna write them so poorly.
Right. Yeah.
Like Che's like a character that up until this like last episode or two has been very hard to kind of connect with.
Okay.
And like because they've done the writing has done such a strange job of like including them. I think I probably should stop there because I'm gonna ruin stuff for you, and I don't want to do that.
That's fine. Okay. Yeah. We don't want to be that close people because people are watching now.
Yeah.
So we don't want to. They're gonna start commenting spoiler.
But I feel like they almost fell into a trap of, even though they're like, hey, we included this non-binary character.
Yeah.
They were falling into that trap, frankly, of the episode that we have that has tons of views. Go check it out.
Yeah.
About the characters being bi, of them being promiscuous in a way, or sort of like almost leading people down other paths that maybe they hadn't considered.
That's a very conservative way of looking at like,
and that's not I do not think they intended it that way.
Let me rephrase that as a very almost typical or like common way of a conservative looking at bisexual, like not the standard.
And they didn't necessarily mean to, I think, put Che's character in that position, but it's sort of how it played out. So it was sort of strange. And
I mean, if you think about it, Loki is kind of smart because they're kind of getting everybody across the demographic. They're like left, right, gay, queer, binary, non-binary. Like we got something for all y'all. It's just like, listen, you can't pack that into 30-minute episode.
You cannot.
You know what I'm saying? Like you can't shut it all into 30 minutes.
Yeah, the long and short of it is you cannot redress all the criticisms of the original run of the show in 10 40-minute episodes, like you said. It just can't be done.
Yeah, like if you made it like an hour, maybe
you need like multiple like it would almost make more sense. Yeah, you need more episodes to allow people to develop and like understand these newer characters better and things like that. And it's not a knock against any of the performers or anything like that, because they also have a very clearly like Samantha Stanton at a certain point. Who's I don't know the actress's name. It's this gorgeous Indian woman though, and she's not like as outwardly raunchy as Samantha, but she's still that very cool, confident like character, but it's just not the same.
Yeah,
but it's
back in control. That would just bring back, it just would have been fine.
And you can still have these characters you can still have the 4 core girls, middle-aged women now, let's be real, have the new meet these new characters and these new people and have them be in the circle and broaden it. It just needs like more time and space to do it than being like, let's just 10
episodes. Yeah, you can't share all your.
You can't ever complain about the show because we included black characters and new characters, Southeast Asian and non-binary and potential trans. Like you can't.
Yeah, you can't do it. It's too jumbled. That's what I've been hearing. It's a little too jumbled.
You can't just magically make all those problems go away by shoehorning in characters poorly. And they're all characters who deserve time and space. And that's what's frustrating, is that like it's not being done well and they're not being given real time and space to flourish as characters, Well, let's jump back in time to the early 2000s.
So wait. Did you say jump back in time? She who hates time travel?
This isn't time travel. We're just watching an older episode. And by the way, I started Outlander. And don't get on me about how I fucking hate time travel and I'm watching fucking Outlander where she touched like a stone and shit. And she's like, I can't.
Spoilers.
That was not a spoiler for Outlander. That's in the pilot. Everybody knows.
I haven't seen it though. That's a spoiler for me.
Everybody knows she time travels by going to a cool stone in Scotland and like slapping her hand on it by accident, and then boom, she's back in Outlander times. And if you think I'm not secretly planning a trip to Scotland to make that happen, you're dead fucking wrong.
If every other
bitch in the world slapping her hands on stone.
No, let me tell you something. I would laugh so hard if like you went there and shit touched a stone and time traveled. You who hate time travel so much as a movie trope, I would die laughing. I was like, I hope you go back to like the medieval days, like just somewhere deep. And I just there
crossing my arms the whole time, like
son of a bitch, it exists.
Like it's not even that I time traveled to a time without internet or electricity. It's just the fact that I time traveled itself. That's what's really pissing me off about this. I don't care that I'm catching the plague right now. I get it. I understand it's a hazard at the time. It's just the fact that I'm even here. Anywho.
I
don't ask.
I'd pay $1 million for that, just that video right there. Of
don't
you
ask
just like
sitting
at like King Arthur's table, just like, what the fuck? Guinevere, do you believe this shit? I fucking time travel.
You guys, but 2 hours later, so you guys get why it's a bad storytelling trope, right? And they're like, please leave this.
Kill the witch.
Yeah,
like, kill the witch. Kill the witch. Why is she still here talking?
And I'm like, that's fine. Honestly, that's fine.
Oh man.
I'd rather you did, because I can't stand this. But anyway, we're not so literally funny. Time traveling. We're going back to the good old early 2000s.
Yes, we are. We are episode 13, right?
Yeah.
It's Escape from New York, excuse me.
Yeah.
So whose story should we get into first?
Oh, sorry. This is officially from the year 2000, by the way. Just
2000. Oh, shit.
We
survived. We survived the computers crashing.
It's here and it's gone. Another year, the millennium. Is that the lyrics?
Hear it, I like it. Yeah. I'm like, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's my shit.
Millennium, excuse me.
Millennium. Yes, sir. You better respect.
Good times. We were all waiting for tonight with J-Lo. We didn't know if the Y2K was gonna add.
I wasn't waiting for that night.
That song's a fucking banger, and don't you forget it. Gone are the days when
a sentence that's never been spoken ever before about a J-Lo song. That's a fucking banger, ain't you? Yeah, I said it. I said it. We got enough views for her to see it. Come through, J-Lo.
She's back with Ben now, and he'll give you what for. I just watched The Town.
No, I'll just get him a shot. He'll be good. He's from Boston. No. 2 shots of Jameson, he'll fucking love me.
He'll be like, yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, he'll be like, I got this fucking bit.
Not his fucking lady broad. Love. How dare you? But who should we start with? Maybe
what's a juicy one?
Maybe we should just start with Carrie, because she's kind of what brings everybody to Los Angeles in the first place.
So we come back. Carrie has ended her fling with Big and also lost her relationship with Aiden.
Yep.
Which you fucking deserve, because you did it to yourself. You dummy bitch.
You did it to yourself.
And so
congratulations, you played yourself.
Congratulations, you played yourself. But we come to find out that one of her columns is in talks about being made into a screenplay that might be made into a movie.
Yeah, by a small production company. Which is so funny, because it's not unheard of. And now like the present day equivalent is they make tweets and stuff into movies now, because that Zola movie that came out. I haven't actually seen it yet, because I just haven't had a chance to. I haven't gotten any screeners or anything. But that Zola thing started as a Twitter thread from the woman.
Save yourself time. I can tell you that right now.
Oh dear. Wow. But yeah, I mean, there's all sorts of stuff like that gets turned into. They'll option anything with enough momentum behind it, so to speak.
Well, I love how when they're talking at brunch, before they, are about to go to their flight, or maybe breakfast. I don't know. They don't really
breakfast, say the time. I
guess. Because they flew in time and enough time. She had no time to shop for new shoes, and then they had time to fly. And when they got to LA, it was still daytime. So this had to be early as fuck in the morning.
Early as hell. And also, I don't know. I like to be at the airport the legit 2 hours early, and I hate it. I hate it when I'm getting a ride from someone if they're kind enough to take me or whatever, and they say, "What time do you need to be at the airport?" I'm like, "My flight is at X. I want to be there at Y." And they're like, "You don't need to be there at time." And it was like, I didn't ask you what time I needed to be there.
You are supposed to just give me a ride.
I'm not making you stay at the airport with me. I told you I want to be there. At 5 for my 7 o'clock flight. That's my 2 hours at the airport to do what I want, to buy my smart water.
Yeah, to relax and not have anxiety about travel, because I know that I'm not going to miss my flight because I'm already sitting in the fucking area.
Thank you.
I totally get that.
I hate
100% get that.
I argue with people every fucking time. I'm like, respect the anxiety, Karen. Goddamn. I want to be at the airport 2 hours early.
Traveling sucks. Okay, I love getting to the destination. Dope. Yeah, awesome. Yeah. But the in between, fucking hate that. Hate back in, hate all that shit. And anything I can do to relieve myself of stress in traveling, I will do it. So if I want to get there 3 hours before my flight, you take me there 3 hours before my flight. Don't worry about the 3 hours I'm going to spend.
Don't worry about what I'm doing. Like I said, I'm buying my liter.
I might watch a movie. Leave me alone.
I'm buying my liter of smart water. I'm doing some crossword puzzles. I'm just kind of vibing in the airport.
Maybe I'm walking back and forth just trying to get a little exercise. Leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah, doesn't matter what the fuck I do in there.
Also, if you're traveling with me, guess what? You're going to the airport 3 hours before. I don't give a fuck what time you usually get there. I don't care if you get there 30 minutes before you always make your flight. Fuck all that, okay? Yeah. You're getting there 3 hours before. Otherwise, I'm getting on the plane and I'm leaving you, and sorry for you, okay?
I drove a friend, my very close friend, to the airport one time. And she was, and I was at her place. This is actually right after I got diagnosed. So she was kind of stressed with me, but she was stress packing and going in circles her into her apartment and chewing up all this time. And I was finally like, dude, it's going to take 45 minutes to physically get there. You need to you got to go now. And I got her there, I swear, maybe 30 to 25 minutes before the flight. And she had pre-check and stuff like that. And she was like, yeah, I got on the plane. I was like, I was having more. I wasn't even the one trying to make a flight, and I was more panicked than she was.
Damn.
Anyway,
I don't get how people are that laxative about travel.
I can't do it.
You can't do it. I can't do it. Literally kill somebody. Anyway, somehow they were able to make it from breakfast.
Speaking of fucking time travel.
Like, seriously, when they got there, they're like, so we finally made it to LA. I was like, hold on. Was this like the I thought maybe it was the next day, maybe like not like the next day in LA, but like maybe they flew the next day.
Yeah, maybe because like there is a 3-hour time difference behind. Yes. So like,
sure.
But even so, I swear they said the flight was at 1 though. They mentioned a time offhand. So that means Carrie, they all fucked around at breakfast forever.
Right.
That's at least let's say at least an hour at breakfast. Carrie fucks around and buys shoes.
Right.
We'll say at least an hour there, maybe
at least
2.
An hour, yeah.
Let's say 2.
Not 2. I will say 1.
I'll say an hour.
Yeah, I'd give it an hour.
And then they got to get to the airport. It's pre 9/11 though, so you can just fucking strut in. That's the secret. This was 2000. We're pre 9/11 still.
I still don't think they would get there.
Solved.
I think they would be getting there I feel like it'd still be like, it wouldn't be that, like the way they made it seem like the sun was like in peak brightness. I feel like it'd be a little bit more.
Because I'm like, it's a 6-hour flight, let's say. So
yeah.
Well, they could have in theory landed in LA at about 4 or 5 in the afternoon. If they were going in the summer,
I'll take that.
I'll take it. Okay.
I'll take that. If it's summertime, LA, fine.
I will say, who was absolutely at the airport 2 hours early was Miranda. And that's why I can fuck with her.
Hey, she was the first one to leave brunch. So
yeah.
She's like, I'm not gonna.
She was absolutely already there with the water and the snacks. So I was like, you guys are fucking crazy.
Oh my God, I would marry her that day. I'm like, oh, you travel like this? That's why we even talking. Yeah, like just go to the chapel right now. But I love that Samantha, because she made fun of LA Talk, and she was like, oh, that they're gonna make your column into a movie. She's like, actually, it's options that they might to make a screenplay and maybe make a movie.
Yeah, by a small production company too.
Yeah, but when she said I'm working on my LA Talk, I was like, that is hilarious, because that truly is how like motherfuckers hype themselves up. They're like, oh yeah, I'm about to make a movie. Like, they don't even have a script yet. They just have an idea.
Oh, the amount of tweets that are like, big news coming, can't say it just yet.
And then nothing ever happens.
And then nothing.
Where's the big news, bro?
I don't tell people big news till it's like 4 years in on whatever it was.
Yeah. Like, listen, and to like even if I shot a pilot, I ain't putting that shit on Instagram or even talking about it until that motherfucker airs and gets picked up and it airs. I ain't saying shit. That's when my show or like if I know it's gonna air, then I might start doing the PR to advertise for it. But I ain't saying shit. You don't say shit during filming or nothing like that, because that shit might not go nowhere. You look stupid.
So they get there and they get to the Standard, RIP the Standard, co-owned by Leonardo DiCaprio at one point, and now it's gone. It's closed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Standard doesn't exist anymore. Sorry.
When did it close?
Let's see, the Standard Hotel in Los Angeles. I thought it closed.
I was like, I drove by it the other not too long ago, and it looked like it was still operating, but I mean,
it's shutting down indefinitely after 22 years. That was in 2021. Increase in the lease, making operating the property impossible. So there you go.
Damn.
Closed down last year.
Damn.
It's probably got like somebody's gonna buy the land or the building or whatever.
Of course.
But yeah, Leonardo DiCaprio famously
that was a nice hotel.
Invested in it, owned it. I can't remember.
Huh.
I only ever went in there once.
Yeah, it's nice. They got a little restaurant too at the bottom too. Yeah, it's like a little diner. I've had the food there late night. It's not that great. It's very much diner food. You are getting what you pay for.
Yeah.
But at 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. when you're drunk, hey, no, it's like Jack in the Box, baby.
Yeah. and then of course they get there and they're booked. There's like a snafu with the hotel rooms, and they're also on a non-smoking floor because Carrie just can't stop smoking for 5 fucking minutes. which is a no-no in LA. Now, mind you, I believe New York was the first place to have the bars ban smoking. Just FYI, everybody. Yeah. I could be wrong. You can fact check me if you want.
But you know what? I also feel like it was definitely an LA thing, but LA is like such bullshit with it because there'll be motherfuckers like, it'll be like no smoking everywhere, but then like you go out to the bar and everybody's trying to borrow a cigarette. So clearly people smoke in this fucking city.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying we should bring back smoking in bars. Like, fuck that. No, thank you.
Gross.
Please. It's definitely like now, like I've been, and there's still some bars in Texas that still do that. Like you can smoke in them, and there's definitely a difference in like enjoyment.
Yeah.
When there's no smoking in a bar, but it's like it was so weird too to even think that there was a time period that you were allowed to smoke in hotel rooms. Like she's freaking out, like, oh, there's not a smoking floor. I was like, a smoking floor?
I know.
No way.
I'm trying to book a hotel in New York for my upcoming Music Man trip. What up, Hugh Jackman? See you in March. And I'm like, I gotta find a hotel. And the thought of like a smoking room is so they don't really offer that. I don't even think they offer them anymore.
I don't think like you'd be hard pressed to find maybe like a motel.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like an actual hotel, like anything that's like 3 and above stars.
Yeah.
No, bro.
So they get there, they do a whole like strut out in their LA finest and then go right back into the hotel. I don't quite know why, but it's a dumb scene.
As Carrie puffs like what, like she's like the most wasteful cigarette smoker I've ever seen.
Yeah.
By the way, she like never finishes a cigarette.
One drag and put that thing
literally
out.
One drag done. It's like, all right, let's go inside. What?
But then we get our little mini cameo from Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yes,
seeing her.
Yeah, I was so happy seeing her face because Buffy was my jam.
Yeah,
I was like, I had the biggest crush on Sarah Michelle Gellar for like a long time.
Oh, she's great. I love her.
Yeah, dude. Buffy, Cruel Intentions. I was like, oh, I think that's the woman I'm gonna marry. I didn't know why. I was too young to understand why, but I was like, that's the one. She's it.
Yeah. So Sarah Michelle Gellar is a junior development executive who's talking up Carrie about the columns and how she relates to them. She's like, it could be a big opening weekend, like chick flick big, not X-Men big. Which I thought was funny. Still true, sadly, but what are you gonna do? And she has a star interested, and it's Matthew McConaughey.
Now I'm not gonna lie, this episode low-key blew my mind because one, we never really get this many like star cameos.
Right.
Like it's star cameos in the sense of like some of them are actors now who are bigger. So to us, it's like a kind of a cameo, but like these are two pretty big.
He was
stars.
at the peak.
Yeah, I mean this was the
peak of his rom-com era.
Rom-com area, and then this is like still her like post Buffy, like you know what I mean, and Cruel Intentions zone. So like this was crazy that they were able to get. Like when she goes to the studio and McConaughey actually shows up, I was blown. I thought they were gonna do like she had the meeting with them, but like not show the meeting.
Yeah.
Wrong. I was completely wrong. That blew my mind.
So we got to get into the geography of the meeting because it drove me fucking crazy. Okay, so Carrie runs a fabulous car that's a stick shift because that's just what you do in LA. She's
not if you don't know how to drive.
Not if you know how to do it. And she's dealing with hills, which yes, there are hills here. Obviously, yes. But yes, okay,
absolutely. But no, first of all, too, you're just gonna. She doesn't know where you're going. She's also doesn't know how to drive the car. And 3, you just added an expense to your fucking your what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word? Your budget for your vacation, because guess what? You're gonna have to pay for those repairs on that car because you know you fucked up the gears.
Yeah, you grind.
I mean, if you were there for 2 days and you finally got the hang of it on the 3rd day, like, bro, that engine is fucked. As a person who knows how to drive a stick shift,
I don't. So I would be like automatic only if they're like, we only have 6 shifts. I'd be like, I'm fucking walking, man. I can't do this. Or I'll get a ride. You've only
driven a stick shift once in your life. You can't rent a stick shift and then drive in a city like LA. No. Yeah. You're pissing everybody off, by the way.
Yeah. So she's struggling on this hill trying to get to Warner Brothers, which raises, I think I figured out roughly where they were kind of implying, like geographically, it doesn't make any goddamn sense. And it drove me crazy. And then I didn't have enough free time to figure it out like I wanted to. Right. Because I guess we're only seeing part of the trip. But I was just trying to figure out if they're going from the Standard, what fucking hill they were going up to get to Warner Brothers. And I know you go over a hill to get into the valley. Obviously I know that, but
no, this
when it was just some random street, I guess, it's just for the joke. But anyway, she ended up in the valley, and I was like, oh my God, it's so flat here. How did she fucking struggle driving a goddamn stick shift on all these flat ass streets here in the beautiful San Fernando Valley?
Oh my God, dude. Yeah, she was struggling so bad and get to that meeting. I was like, she ain't gonna make that meeting. Like, I don't know how she's gonna make it. But I think when they were all three together, they were going to Samantha's story's friend's party.
There's something
that's
like
when
that. Yeah.
That's when they were going up the hill. Because I was like, ain't no way. If they were going to Burbank, listen, I'm sorry, bro. I don't care what direction you come from, you ain't hitting no hills. Unless
not that steep, no.
Unless you just got lost, like you just made a left turn somewhere you were supposed to, but not to Warner Brothers, baby, like nah.
So then we get to the like most famous scene from this episode, which is Matthew McConaughey. It cracks me up. Now I read in the trivia that it was supposed to be a different actor, and he was a last minute replacement. I guess if you read Sarah Michelle Gellar's like lips carefully during her scene, she says somebody different.
That's what I felt like. Yeah, I felt like that's what because the lips said something else, and definitely
it didn't click in my brain. I feel like a George Clooney maybe, because he was very much a Mr. Big type in that era. Because he was like, I'm Mr. Bachelor, cool. I only date people for so long. I'm never gonna get settled down. And then he met his hot ass lawyer wife, and she kicks ass. So.
Yeah,
good for her.
But he was like the most famous bachelor at the time.
Yeah,
for sure.
Definitely. So I feel like that's who was supposed to be there originally.
It makes sense to me.
I like Matthew McConaughey overall. I've never thought he was attractive. I've never been into him as like a rom-com lead or anything like that. Really? That was great in like True Detective and other kind of more interesting like dramatic roles and stuff like that. But I've never been like, oh, he's so cute. I like him. And I like that. I always forget. He's this fucking weird in real life. Like this scene where he's like talking to her and he's all hyped up and weird. And he's like in character, out of character with her and weirding her out and stuff like that. He's apparently like legit that weird in real life. Like that thing in Wolf of Wall Street where he's doing the chest beating thing.
Yeah, he made that up.
That's something he does, and they incorporated that to the movie because it's just like a weird fucking thing he does, like to prep for scenes or whatever. So he wants, I think it's extra funny that he wants to be the Mr. Big character, and it's extra funny that he loves Mr. Big. He thinks he's so cool, and he wants to know what Carrie, the character's problem is, and she's like, me Carrie or character Carrie?
Right. You know what's funny about that though? Like low-key when he was talking about that, I was like, I think they did make this movie. I think it was called How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Because if you go back and watch that movie, that was literally Carrie and Big, like two sociopaths who should not be together, but like somehow did.
That goddamn movie.
oh, I did too. It's disgusting. But I think they did make Carrie's column into a movie and just called it that, because that's literally, I think that was like the next movie he did as a rom-com after this episode.
So because I love his delivery of when she's like, I don't think it was just Carrie's problem. He goes, it's bullshit, Carrie, you know it. The funniest delivery.
Yes.
And then he's like, I'm just kidding, I was a character. And then he's like, but I want to fuck you. And she's like, really? And he's like, no, it's in character. And he's like, oh, okay. So he's doing all this like weird in character, out of character shit with her. And then she's like, I want to smoke. He goes, I don't think Carrie should smoke. And she's like, oh, and the movie goes, no, yeah, not in real life either. You can't smoke in here.
I know.
This smoking gag goes all through the episode.
I know, because LA was like so pretentious about
yeah. But then after the meeting, she ends up on the New York backlot at Warner Brothers, which I have been to.
Yes, and it still exists. It's changed a little bit, but it's still there. Yeah, a lot of things that people think is shot in New York. Warner Brothers, baby.
You'd be surprised.
Yep. Warner Brothers and downtown LA. They love using downtown LA as New York. Oh,
even when I worked at CBS Radford, which is a much smaller lot, they had a New York street and everything, and they would film stuff there all the time.
Yeah.
Movies are lies.
Lies, baby. Hollywood is a bunch of lies.
Yeah. So she smokes and ponders if you can ever really run away from your problems, because she's in LA, but she's somehow back in New York all at the same time through the magic of movies. And the security guard tells her to not fucking smoke there.
By the way, fuck that security guard. I'd have kept smoking.
He would have been like, just keep going.
Like, dude, like honestly, she's outside. I just would have told her, like, look, when you're done smoking a cigarette, just make sure you throw the butt away. Like that's, you know what I mean? She's outside. Nobody was around. He literally came out of nowhere. Like I think he came out of like one of the set pieces. Like,
yeah.
Like there was no, you know, economy of space where he even came from. So like, get out of here, dude. Also, you're security. You're not a real cop. You're taking your job way too seriously.
Yeah.
I'm telling you something. In 2000s, I know they weren't paying you enough to give a fuck. I'm sorry. Yeah. I know Warner Brothers is a rich ass studio and the pay was probably decent, but there's no way they're paying you that much where you give that many fucks about some random girl smoking when no one else is around. And this is like post COVID. Okay, get out of here.
So Carrie gets back to the hotel and is pondering at night, and a guy asks her for a cigarette and offers her company, but she turns him down, and she realizes that's what she wanted and needed the most, which is to be alone. And then the next day she's supposed to go back to Matthew McConaughey and decides to skip it and then ponder the mistakes of her past. And I hated this little metaphor. If she can master a stick shift, can a relationship be far behind? And I'm like, no.
Secondly, I'm sorry, you did not master a stick shift in 2 days.
Yeah.
Ain't no fucking way. Ain't no in LA, you don't have to learn it on the fly. Like, no, bro, you did not master it.
No,
you got enough to get by. You must be
bullshit,
like,
Carrie.
Let me tell you something. Listen, he did enough to get by, and because like the Stanton hotel to Warner Brothers ain't that far of a drive. So you know what I mean? Like, you ain't like she ain't hitting like big highways and shit like that. And most also too, like if you do hit the highway, if you hit like the 101, like getting up the gears is easy. It's the downshifting and the speeds and stuff like that gets a little intricate. So you didn't master nothing, girl. Stop playing.
You didn't master shit. And you're gonna master a relationship. That's neither here nor there. So that's Carrie's journey, because Carrie's the one who brought us to beautiful, sunny Los Angeles. Who you want to chit chat about next?
Let's go with Miranda, because her story is kind of there.
So Miranda is talking to Miranda is like along for the ride, so on and so forth. But so her thing is she meets a guy at the bar and it's going well, and he's like into her, but then he gets distracted by a model, and he's like, it's great to talk to smart, funny women, but then like ditches her to chase after the model. And Miranda's all like upset about that. And then
but to be honest, okay, I can
it was rude.
It was rude, but also here's my thing. Because you know it becomes a something that she brings up later. The difference between the way that girl was dressed and how she was dressed was seen in different signals. Now that's not necessarily saying that the lady that was dressed provocatively is a whore or like that. No, I'm not saying that. No. But as a guy, if you're trying, especially at these times, if you're trying to like rationalize who's gonna sleep with me tonight, probably gonna be the person that's like putting it out there a little more. And Miranda's very conservatively dressed. So like, I'm telling you, this is in a guy's mind is like, he, you know, we're having a good conversation and banter, but as soon as I say like, let's get out of here, she's gonna say no. That girl will probably maybe be down because of how she's dressed. She's gonna say no too, because that guy was kind of not that good looking. But you know, that's guy logic. So I can understand where it came from.
So they're at a dildo party, which we will get to with Samantha's story in a minute.
Yes.
And she talks about feeling ignored by the guy who got distracted, and she keeps saying she admires all the women who really put their sex out there to be seen. Like they make fun of like a scantily dressed woman at the thing they're at, and then she's like, and they ask if she's in porn as well, and she's like, no, I'm a lawyer for Disney. Because the joke is like, oh, everybody in LA puts their sex out on display so much. I'm like, aren't you guys are from New York and you've literally been to restaurants where people have full on titties out? We saw it like in the last 2 seasons.
Facts.
You can't act like New York is so buttoned up and whatnot, and LA is so cavalier and like sexual and like, I mean, more skin, there's more sun year round, so you're not quite as bundled up, I'll give you that. But to act like LA is somehow more sexual than New York,
it's not that they're more sexual. It's just that New York, they like to dress in layers. They like layers, no matter what time of year it is. They just like a cool 3 layers. It can be summertime, hot as fuck. They still like a cool 3 layers, unless they're like chilling out, you know, just outside. And you know, here when it's hot, it's like no less layers. Like as less as possible. That's, you know, doesn't give me a ticket. That's not really sex. It's just like,
it's just less layered.
Sweat. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's so weird to me because that's one of the weird things about this show is that like they're supposed to be like, 4 hip women from New York City who have seen and done it all, and they come to Los Angeles and they're like, oh my stars, look at all these titties out and about, oh my lord, oh no. And it's like, again, you literally have, like, I can't remember what episode it is, I know we talked about it though, there was a restaurant they went to where the waitress had her, like, was topless.
Yeah.
That was it. And they were like, oh,
fucking first episode, they go to a model show where people are eating sushi off of the naked woman's body. Stop playing.
And they're like, tee whatever, and like casually eating like it's no big thing. And then like I said, they come to Los Angeles and they're like, oh my stars, oh heavens, like it doesn't make any sense.
I know. It's hilarious.
Stupid. But then we get to
that's just how people act when they get to different places, you know what I mean? Like if they don't know the culture, they're just like, oh my god, this is so shocking. The culture shocks like that.
Yeah.
No, bro. Shit.
But then we get to the climax of the episode, pun intended. And they're at the fucking Saddle Ranch.
I know. I laughed so hard. I was like, these sophisticated women.
I know.
And the thing is too, they walked there too. So these women who catch cabs everywhere, they walked from the
They do say offhand, it's the closest bar that they could walk to, and that is true.
It is true.
That is, it's literally across.
There's 2 more. That's like 2 more. That's 2 more.
Yeah,
it's the closest one.
Yeah, they could have walked to, like, I think
the Den. Could have walked to the Den,
or the. Is there a margarita place?
Yeah. There was
is it Cabo Cantina or something like that?
Cabo Cantina, yes, that was right there too. But way better. Well,
2 way better spots. I do enjoy the Den.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking Saddle
It is the closest one. She's not wrong there. It is the closest
it
one,
is,
but there are better options.
I've been there once.
Oh man.
I have been to the Universal City Walk location twice.
It's a little better.
What's for after work, because it was coincidentally the closest place to get to because I worked down the hill from the Universal Studios in the office building, and then you just take the tram up and boom, you're at Saddle Ranch. That's also how we ended up at Margaritaville on a different work outing, and I don't get either bar, to be quite honest with you. I don't much care for them, but so the big thing about Saddle Ranch, I've seen the episodes, you can ride the bull. Which they make it seem like you can just walk up and do it. You totally have to sign up for it. It's a whole
you can sign up. I think you have to pay for it too, don't you?
I think you do.
Yeah, I think you have to pay for it to ride the bull. Also, no one ever crowds. I've been to Saddle Ranch several times. I used to go there whenever, because the Comedy Store would do an open mic on Tuesdays, and that's where we would chill out. Waiting on them to put up the list or whatever, because they wouldn't put up a list for like an hour and a half. I don't know why. That's your thing. Yeah. But that's where we would wait. And yes, it's a Tuesday, but tourism is like year round in LA, basically. I've never seen anybody crowd around.
Other than the actual like friends cheering you on. Yeah. Strangers are not like, ride
that random redhead girl. Yeah, ride that boo.
People would be like, oh my god, that girl ripped her top open? What the hell's happening over there?
I'm like, no, most people just be like, why is she riding that? That's so stupid.
That's true. That's the 100% right.
Like no one rides the bull. Who rides the bull?
All the locals are like, who rides the bull?
Right. Yeah.
That's our little like sophisticated Los Angeles.
That's how we know for sure you're a tourist. You're riding the bull. Like you're not doing that if you live here. I've lived here for 7 years. Never thought about riding that bull. Okay.
Did I even have I ever? I don't think I've ever ridden. I might have ridden it at the Universal Studios one because everybody at work was riding it. But no, I don't think I did, because I was like, I don't want my tits flapping at work. I don't know. It's just like,
I feel you. I wouldn't need
like I work with these people. I don't
workers.
Don't need to be like boom, boom, Not doing it.
Also, you don't want to like sexualize yourself to your coworkers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because like
I think it was mostly dudes. I think it was mostly dudes in the group who were like, we'll ride the bull, ha ha. And everyone was like, go off, have fun.
Yeah. Well, Miranda decides to get on this thing. And by the way, okay, maybe I'm just like, being a country boy from Texas, maybe I'm a little bit, harder on the bull riding, but like, did she not look stiff as fuck when she got on that goddamn bull?
Yeah, she did.
I was like, this is you loose? this is you loose. You look like you're about to break in half. You're so stiff. She was like,
yeah,
like there was no motion in her hips at all. She just was wobbling back and forth. I was like, this is not loose. But then how did she feel to take her top off?
I don't know. She feels free enough though to rip her button-down shirt open.
Yep,
and Carrie and Samantha cheer her on, and it's like, cool. All right. I don't know how that makes her feel more empowered. It does, apparently. And
I think it was just because it was like she just did something that was spontaneous.
Spontaneous. Yeah.
I mean, you know, her last boyfriend, he was trying to do spontaneous shit, but it was like, you know,
always at her expense, shit. Frankly.
Yeah, always at her expense, basically. Yes. It's like, and she, but even
let's then, have a fucking baby.
Oh God, let's not even get there.
I got in a polite Twitter fight with Giovanni, who's been on the show with us to talk Bride Wars and stuff before, because one friend posted something about they should have just kind of ties into Miranda's sexuality in the new series. Yeah. And I was like, and we all feel for Steve now, but he sucked back in the day and we all fucking know it. Giovanni was like, I disagree. I will not have Steve slander. And then I said what I said. And he was like, and what you said was bullshit. So we had a good time. It's all love though. It's all good. Sorry, G.
You're wrong. Steve was trash. All right, sorry, bro.
Agree to disagree.
No. There's no agree to disagree. There's a fact, and then there's fiction. Fiction is he's a good guy. Fact is he sucks.
They try to. There's so much. Again, rewatching it now and like how he's portraying the thing, it's so much revisionist history, in my opinion, about how great Steve was as a boyfriend. Does everybody forget the trapper with a baby bullshit? Did we all just gloss over that?
I'm telling you, I bet if G watched the show, if he watched that episode, if he watched those series of episodes again, he would probably change his mind. He's probably like you. He hasn't gone back to rewatch. He just remembers it from when he was younger and was like, oh, this guy's so sweet. Oh, Miranda's a monster. No, she's not.
Yeah, no, she's not. She's not great. She doesn't handle things,
but she's not a monster.
But she's not wrong with.
He's not a beaten dog. He was an asshole. Choices.
Yeah, he's not a little puppy. Anyway, so she rips her top open in Los Angeles. Never has a good time with it. I don't know.
And that's her.
That's Miranda's story. Whatever. Do Samantha. Because we'll get to Charlotte at the end.
I think that's great. Yes, yeah, I like that. Yes.
So Samantha, in true Samantha fashion, meets Garth, a dildo model, on her first night in Los Angeles.
Yes, while they're at the bar at the Standard. I loved her reaction when he said what he did. That was a classic Samantha, and it was so funny. Actually, all the jokes, all the jokes in this episode were very funny.
Yeah, this is a really fun.
Miranda was very funny this episode too. She had a lot of little side remarks that were like really, really good. But her, she's like, don't tease a girl. Like she didn't even. It was like what made it so funny. She's like, I'm gonna do them all. She's like, don't tease. Like immediately was like, no, don't tease me. Don't fuck with me.
Are you really a dildo model?
Although, now here's the thing. I'm so glad it worked out for her. He happened to be her preference as far as penis size.
Yeah. Sorry. So they
could easily been a smaller penis model. They have those. Yeah. They do have those. So
because they're gonna go to a party at the Hustler store, which is endlessly funny to me as well. I don't even think the Hustler store is in business anymore.
It is. There's one still in West Hollywood.
Respect. Hustler store.
Would you go to that party if you met somebody that was like, I'm a dildo model, come to the toy party?
Pose?
Yeah.
Because to me, I've been to a couple of those like girls' night sex toy parties that it's basically an MLM, by the way, which I'll get to in a second, where it's like there's a host and all the girlfriends come over and then it's like, here's like some lotions and stuff and here are different dildos and things like that, and like if you want to buy some products they'll talk to you privately in another room and you can have about some stuff. But I figured out they are totally MLMs like LuLaRoe and all that stuff, because at the time I was the last one I went to was several years ago, and at the time I was a little tighter budget wise, and I thought, well, I'm a pretty good salesperson and pretty good like talking and hosting and things like that at one of these parties and funny, and so I'm like, sure, I could get people to kind of buy products and stuff like that. And so I asked the girl about it as I was buying my other personal stuff. And then she would stop texting me for months and months and months about possibly signing up, because you're selling the products. You have to buy all that shit up front though, and then sell it. So it's like the leggings, the LuLaRoe, or any essential oils, or any of that stuff you see people hawking on Facebook and whatnot. And I was like, I'm not driving around with dildos in my trunk that I couldn't sell.
Yeah,
because again, I'm like a decent salesperson, and like it was pretty good when I did retail and phone surveys and all this other stuff. I'm just pretty good at it, as being personable and whatnot. But once I realized that I'd have to spend money to make money,
right?
No, thank you.
Yeah, I totally get that.
But I think I would maybe go to the Hustler party.
Yeah.
I think younger me would have been more like up in arms. Now I'd totally go.
Yeah, I check it out. I check it out. I definitely like stop in for for a minute and stuff like that.
Because you know what, you never know who you're gonna meet places.
But I don't think this scenario would. I don't think a girl would like. I
don't mean romantically. I just mean like if.
No. What I mean is like I just like the whole way that they even ended up at the party. I don't know if that would happen for a guy. I don't know if a woman was like, I'm a like a synthetic boob model would go to a guy and like tell him that, because like that would just immediately, like if I was interested, I think I would become like 15% more creepier in her eyes, like just off top. Even though that's what it's supposed to be, but it's still
So I like they're there, and Samantha's getting like her dildo autographed, which is even funnier.
She's having a ball. She is so excited being here. Like she thinks she's found the jackpot of all cocks. Apparently he is the most like sold cock in the US and part of Canada.
And sorry, I found my missing note, because while they're at the sex toy party, and Carrie and Miranda are talking about Miranda being like, sex is so out and about in public in LA and New York, it's so hidden. And I wrote down, excuse me, weren't you fucking Will Arnett in public last season?
Mm-hmm. There was the hiding,
spare me with this like, I can't be sexual in the way.
I mean, they do like layers though. They do like layers.
I mean, I guess they were still always technically fully clothed when they were fucking in public, but still.
That's true.
Anyway, but back to Samantha. I do like that she brings a bunch of the dildos. First she brings Garth home, and they are having sex, and it's banging against the shared wall with Carrie, and then Miranda's snoring, and so that's why Carrie goes out to the pool in the evening, because she can't get any sleep with all the noise, and she's really cranky the next day. And Miranda's like, I didn't hear Samantha have sex, and she's like, you wouldn't, because you snored all night.
I also like that she got her like them dildos. Like, come on, Carrie wasn't gonna keep it. Now Miranda keeping hers, I was actually surprised too. She was like, "Hey, this might come in handy. I'm not getting laid while I'm out here, so might as well enjoy it.
Pass the time somehow."
Also, still making her Samantha a good friend, because she could have been selfish with it.
Yeah,
she could have had a complex about it. She was like, "No, I want you to enjoy it as well."
So then we get to one of the more famous puns from the show is Samantha and Garth went out to have dim sum and then some. Oh, corny.
I'm not mad about it though.
It's so funny though. It's like so cheesy. It's fun. So they have all sorts of wild sex, and then he's like, "I'm a poet, and I want to move to New York with you. Let me share my poetry with you."
By the way, this scene is low-key triggering, because like I did this before.
You said you were a poet to somebody else?
No.
They told you they were a poet?
No. So this is okay. So just kind of how like Garth and Samantha had hooked up before. And then like they were trying to hook up again, and now he's like doing poetry. It was kind of the same for me, but I had did it. It was like after what was supposed to be a one-night stand. Like we had just had sex, and then like I was telling her that I was an actor, and I was like, "Oh, this is what I'm working on right now," and it happened to be a poem, and I was like, "Oh, do you want to hear it?" And she was like, "Sure." I was like, and I literally got up, naked and recited this poem.
Oh my God.
So that's what, like, when he started doing it, like all of my anxiety started popping up. I was like, yo, son, don't do it. No, don't do it. She don't want it. Trust me. It's not the girlfriend.
Oh my God. Oh my God, that's funny. Holy shit, dude.
I saw him drowning as soon as he said I'm a poet. I was like, no,
No.
Samantha does not want to see this thing. Abort mission. He was so clueless. Like, her whole face was like, what are you doing? Just fuck me, guy. Like, we're not gonna be a couple.
So she breaks it off with him and says,
by the way, shouts out to her. That breakup was sophisticated because she protected herself and she also protected his male ego.
Yeah.
At the same time, because she said, I would have a complex about other women enjoying your dick.
Yep. I don't want to be possessive of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Samantha.
That was baller as shit.
The best.
I respect that. If like somebody broke up with me that way, I'd be like, you know what? You're probably right. Yeah. She can't handle all this. All this fame. All this cock fame I have.
Good Lord. Oh, my stars.
Oh, my stars.
Oh, heavens. So that concludes Samantha's story as well. And now we're on to Sweet Charlotte.
Yes. So Charlotte's at the beginning of the episode has expressed that her and
Trey, they went on their honeymoon.
Yes.
She's getting left behind because she just got back from the honeymoon while the other girls are going on the trip, which is another reminder that Charlotte is clearly the new friend in the friend group.
Yeah.
Sorry, Charlotte.
We're season 3, bitch. You still the new girl.
You're still new, yeah. They were bridesmaids at your fucking wedding and you don't get the LA invite. Man. So they didn't have sex once on their honeymoon, she tells Carrie. And all they did was play golf, which is hilarious. I feel bad for Charlotte.
Watching her play golf, poor thing. You know, she didn't know what she was doing out there.
Oh, no, she totally does. Little waspy Charlotte, 100% knows what she's doing on the golf course.
Oh, absolutely. You know, her mom was like putting her on the course, like, you have to be able to play golf with your husband when you marry him.
I do love the joke when Charlotte's all like trying to hype up that things went great, and she's like, we wore Bermuda shorts in Bermuda, and Carrie's like, you kids were crazy. Just that little line kills me every time. She's like, Bermuda's and Bermuda's.
Because she was so proud of herself. She's like, I was in Bermuda with Bermuda shorts.
I know. It's like, take it out. He's sweet. He's sweet, baby angel.
So the problem is she's worried now, right? That Trey might be impotent.
And I love that she's like, he can't be impotent. He's gorgeous. And they played a lot of like sexually frustrated golf, I guess, which is was so funny. I
don't know what him being good looking has to do with his dick.
It's just a disappointment, I guess.
Yeah, like it sucks. Yeah, but sometimes that happens.
Yeah. Look, you can't look. You know, God does not give with both hands all the time.
Some people get it.
Some people do.
Yeah, some people definitely get it. That's for sure.
Look. I was joking about. I think it was Jamie Dornan because I got to see him sing live in person at the Belfast thing, and he's good looking and he's actually pretty funny and stuff like that. I'm like, man, God, just out here giving with both hands with that.
Some people get 2 lottery tickets in life.
Fucking unfair.
I know.
Seems like a nice guy though.
He probably is. He's probably the sweetest guy in the world, which also would make you hate him more. It's like you're
fucking
nice
third
too.
Hand.
Like, you're nice too,
and you're a nice person. God damn it. Not fair sometimes, but anyway.
Oh, that's like the worst thing in the world. It's like, oh, you're good looking and you're talented and you're nice.
Fuck out of here, you piece of shit. God, I like you.
I know, right?
So while they're all having their sexcapades in Los Angeles, Charlotte is trying to get Trey to even come to bed, and he's like, no, we have to do the thank you note spreadsheet. This is why I like Trey. I just think he's so dorky.
Okay, look. Also, that scene was low-key triggering too, because I'm definitely like, I'm that person, like when I want to get something done, I'm like really focused on that little thing. So like if if my girl were to try to come and have sex with me, I'd be like, no, I got to get this done. I'm not going to be able to like not think about it.
Yeah.
While I'm trying to have sex with you. So let me get it done.
Let the man do his Excel spreadsheet.
Yeah.
And then he'll spread your sheet. Hey.
Maybe. Not in this
Probably
case.
not, because he's
not in this case. Yeah.
He can't get it up. But and she's trying, and I love that she like comes and sits on his lap and he's like not responding. And like her butt hits the computer. He's like, whoops, you deleted the whatever. And she tries to like confront him and he just doesn't even like respond. He's ignoring it. And I do feel bad for her in that sense, because it is like unfortunate that they're just not talking about what a very clear problem is between
but also like she has done everything except just talk to him. She's like hinting at it and like, oh, we have a problem. He's like, I mean, that could be about anything.
Like, he's like, we have a problem. We got 2 vases from the so-and-sos. Right. Know?
And that's what I wrote down, because shortly after this, she's like talking to Carrie on the phone and she's like, oh, what do I do? Like, how can I test to see if it's a meat? Because she says, Carrie suggests that it could be an emotional
or physical
if it did. So try to test to see if it's a physical.
Yeah, you put the paper. I will say real quick. That scene has my as much as I am annoyed by Carrie's like, I have to smoke everywhere line.
Right.
It does have my favorite line because she's on the balcony smoking while she's talking to Charlotte, and someone yells, "You can't smoke here," and she goes, "I have an addiction, sir." And I love saying that whenever people.
She said it so aggressively. She's like, "I have an addiction, sir." Like,
sometimes when people get on my case,
get off my back.
Drinking too much soda, like Coca-Cola, a lot, whatever. I am trying to cut back and do it right and everything. But sometimes people are like, I'm like, I have an addiction, sir. Like, leave me alone. Stop treating it like it's black.
I know. Black
tar heroin.
I was the same way. Like, some people look at me like, people do that thing if you're smoking. People do that thing. We're like, it's like, I know, man. I know this is disgusting. I'm sorry.
I'm not like smoking meth and pretending everything's fine. I'm having a Coke with dinner. Chill the fuck out. But anyway, so Carrie suggests Charlotte put a ring of paper around his penis at night, and the night he can get a boner, it'll like tear, and it won't be physical, it'll be emotional. So Charlotte does that.
Right.
Nancy,
by the way,
Drew.
First of all, that's when I wrote. I was like, just talk to him. Like, why are you trying to sneak paper around your man's penis? He's your husband. Those are things that you're supposed to do as a wife. If you have a problem with your husband, just talk to him.
Wouldn't you notice if someone slid a ring?
Oh, absolutely.
Like, she puts like a roll of stamps around his dick. Wouldn't you notice that? How sound asleeper is Trey?
Yeah, that's what I was like. I guess it depends on how deep over. I'm not a very deep sleeper. I only get to there's like 4 levels of sleep. I only ever get to like the highest I ever get to is like 3. So usually I float around a 2. So maybe he was like a 5 or something. Maybe he like found a next level, because like if somebody even just starts touching my private parts, I'm gonna wake up.
You're like, whoa, hey,
like, what's going on? What's happening? Are we doing anything? Are we doing anything? Yeah, that I'm telling you to stop because I'm tired. Like, get off me.
Yeah.
Also, but like, I don't see how that test can prove anything, because he could have easily just like shifted and
rolled over.
Rolled over, laid on his stomach for a second, like scratch his balls, like
I put my hair in a scrunchie to go to bed sometimes. I toss and turn a lot when I sleep. That scrunchie works its way out in the night, and it's like, fuck, where's the scrunchie? I gotta dig through the sheets and find it now.
Dude, same with me. Red rag, that shit comes right off my head every night.
Yeah, so it's like there's no guarantee unless he just sleeps like a literal corpse on his back with no movement. Some people do.
I have seen people that straight up, like, soon as they fall asleep, that's their position the entire night.
Yeah.
So maybe he is one of those people. I don't know, but even then, again, like, that doesn't necessarily prove that he got a boner in the middle of the night. Like, he could have, like I said, scratched his balls or anything. Or maybe he woke up in the middle of the night, saw paper on his dick, and was like, what the fuck? Sure. Like, maybe thought it was a dream or something.
Yeah. You know? So he breaks the paper in the night, though, and Charlotte's like, tee, I know he can get it up. But that means it's emotional impotence. Dun,
yes.
Dun.
2 people that aren't supposed to be together.
Yeah.
Which I kind of could see that, because I was like, I mean, I don't know. Like, ever since they got together, I was just like, it seemed like he was just kind of like pushed into it.
Yeah, I mean, we we're not there yet, but his mom was pushy in the
very
episodes
much
you've seen her in.
Yeah,
it gets worse.
Yeah,
and she really meddles in the thing.
Yeah,
situation. So it's sort of like, I don't know. He was clearly like attracted to Charlotte at one point.
Yeah, I mean, when they met, I mean, there was definitely sparks there, but I mean, I don't know if he was like ready for it to get to where they are now.
And he could be one of those people
very much pushed into it.
That's like not super into sex, or at the end of the day, which I don't think the show really knew how to address at the time.
Yeah.
Like understanding it as like that type of like an asexual character.
Right.
But there are some of those folks out there where,
but I mean, like,
you can still feel like romantic love, obviously, and everything like that. Yeah. But you're just really not into like the physical part of it.
Well, also too, this episode kind of showed you it's like maybe you guys rushed this because you're just if you're this early in your marriage and you already like can't talk to your husband and tell them the truth about what's going on, but you can like sneak and put paper on his dick like to test to see if his dick gets hard, like. Yeah. Clearly, y'all got married way too soon. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you're not comfortable enough to like speak honestly to each other.
Yeah.
So sorry, Charlotte. I don't think it's gonna work out, baby.
No, I don't think so either. But it's fun while we have him, because I do think Trey is a hoot when he's around.
He's really funny. Yeah, he's
a chuckle.
Just really nerdy guy. I like it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Let the man do his Excel spreadsheet.
It's gonna work, baby.
Respect the spreadsheet.
Respect the spreadsheet, baby. You got a lot of thank you notes to sign. He's helping you guys. He's making it a lot easier for you to write those thank you notes. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sweet.
He should write some too, though.
Fair. That's fair. Now he's doing a spreadsheet. He did his half.
Oh, that's true. That's fair.
He did his half.
That was a teamwork thing. It's like
teamwork.
That
he did the most work. He didn't have to do a spreadsheet. He did a spreadsheet.
Yeah. Because then she's all just gonna go like, dear so-and-so, thank you for whatever.
Boom. Yeah, just go down.
Love Charlotte and Trey. P.S. Trey's impotent.
Tell the people where they can find us, Elizabeth.
They can find us if you go to, I haven't opened the episode description template in so long. You can find us, the show, at Show Me What Podcast on Instagram is the like fastest way to find all our portals. We're on YouTube.
Yeah.
As Show Me What I've Been Missing. We're on Twitter, Facebook, all that good stuff. Or Anchor if you're listening to audio only. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and occasionally TikTok at Elizabeth Movies. And Chris, where can they find you?
Man, you can find me at Mack Diddy Combs on all social media, Twitter, Instagram, and I'm also on TikTok. I don't post any funny videos except for my stand-up. So that's
I mostly post videos of my cat.
Stand-up and cats, baby. What's up?
Woo.
Super cool. Yes, make sure you go. I know you guys have been buying because we've been talking about it, but make sure you go to Arlo, Australia and get yourself some candles, my boy, some good smelling lead-free wick, soy wax, none of that bullshit chemicals is gonna fuck up your lungs and probably give you some kind of mold poisoning. I don't know. I don't know if that's the thing. But I'm just saying, like, it's good, clean materials. It's all ethically sourced from Australia, so you're getting all the scents and oils and all the equipment comes from Australia, so that shit is solid shit because half the chemicals that are allowed here aren't allowed there, so it's gone.
And we'll have all their info on where they're for their Etsy and their Instagram and stuff in the description box.
Arlo Australia. ARLO Australia.
The podcast and the YouTube links, so check it out there. And we'll be back.
Oh, wait, and when you do go there, you guys sure use our promo code. Show Me Miss. That'll get you 10% off of all your purchases. So don't forget that. ARLO Australia. Show Me Miss is promo code. They'll get you 10% off.
Yep. And we will return. Next week's episode is also in Los Angeles, and it's another good one. I really like that episode too.
Oh, I'm ready.
It's fun. Well, until then, we'll see you later. All right.
Nice.